Near Dark was directed by Catherine Bigelow in her solo directorial debut. She co-wrote it with Eric Red, and it stars Adrian Pasdar, Jenny Wright, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and Jeanette Goldstein. And those last three make me chuckle, because they go past a movie theatre, cinema, whatever you call it, where you're from, and it says aliens outside. So there are going to be people in this world who are going to look at Jesse, Diamondback, and Severin and go, you guys look uncannily like actors in this film. Now, because they're vampires, that probably won't be too long before they're taken out. So it might be a non-point in some ways. But it always makes me chuckle, like these kind of in-jokes. It's not like Last Action Hero, where the joke is that Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Jack in our world. So that's why it's kind of interesting and fun. This is just a behind-the-scenes joke because they've all appeared together in those two properties. But like I say, it just makes me chuckle, this idea of like someone out there going, wait a minute. Again, they won't last long. But I think it's because they work so well together, clearly, and they're just really good. Like, Lance Henriksen shows range between those two roles. Bishop is nothing like Jesse. I mean, there's elements, I think, that you could say are pretty consistent, but generally very different. Jeanette Goldstein, hard woman in both, totally for it, accepting. But Bill Paxton's the interesting one, because him and how he delivered lines made both of the characters memorable and sort of likeable, but not at the same time. Like, Severin is an insufferable prick, let's just be honest. But the way that he delivers some lines just makes him... It doesn't make you warm to him fully, but you can tolerate him, let's put it that way. And Hudson is a coward pretending not to be, and just, acts out at every moment to try and sound better than he is. And there's even a note I made when I was watching this that says, game over, Severin, game over. That's Hudson's character. When stuff goes wrong, he panics, because he's not really as brave as he likes to say. Both of them are very flawed, unlikable at the core characters, but Bill Paxton just elevates them to, if not likable, like I say, tolerable. But there's a lot about this film to enjoy. It's one of those that years and years ago someone said, oh, you've got to watch Near Dark. If you're into vampires and stuff, watch Near Dark. I suspect I've got PDA, pathological demand avoidance, so now someone's told me you have to do a thing, and I'm like, no. It took many years after that for me to do it, and I just went, fine, I'll sit down and watch it. I think also when people are hyping things up, it gives an unfair expectation. So I'm going to sit there and just be like, right, I'm expecting this to be amazing. And if it isn't amazing, I'm going to be like, why did someone recommend this to me? I need to come back later when those expectations have been tempered and just go, okay, no, I see it now. I get it. I get the appeal. But there's so much here that, like I say, I'm not sad that it took me a long time, but I respect that, yes, watching it was valuable to me. And again, rewatching it for this, I really did enjoy it. And there's so much that is similar across vampire stuff. They've made sure to be mindful of what's come before and pick and choose, like every vampire thing should, pick and choose what's come before to shape your own vampires. Because nothing's going to be original now. It's a trope, it's a concept that we've known for years, centuries even. So there are the things like, the vampires upset animals. Children don't age, like we see in Interview with the Vampire, obviously with Homer here. And the actor for that will come up at some point in the future. There's something I want to talk about that I didn't realise he was involved in, so keep that in the back of your mind for, I don't know how long it'll take me to get round to it. But all these kind of things, it obviously appeared as well last time in Let the Right One In. I butchered your ears with the Swedish during the video, I'm not going to do it now. But that's it, we look at these things and these ideas of vampires as a lot of commonalities, because some of it is shorthand, it's stuff that we know. But there's so much that, like I say, I really did enjoy about this. One of the things I really enjoy in vampire media is when, or any generally supernatural thing, when they put some science to it. Because when these characters were being created, it was all about mythology and maybe explaining diseases they didn't know and stuff like that, for argument's sake. But when you start to look at it through a scientific lens, it's like, why would that work? And it's what I respect about this, it's what I respect about Blade does it, to a degree. A lot of the ones that I like, do this to a degree, because the whole idea of transfusion, I was thinking, like, if you're bitten and, some kind of contaminant comes through the fangs into the bloodstream, and that's why they need to kill, because otherwise it will turn you into one. If that can be done, would transfusion work? I'd forgotten, because Even though it took me a long time to watch it, it's still been a long time between the last time and this time of rewatching it, that I'd forgotten that that's exactly what it did. I was like, could you do a blood transfusion? Would that work? Oh wait, Caleb's already doing it, fine. And it does, it cleanses the blood, and it even works for, whilst not super long, because it wasn't that long ago that May was turned, it still works for longer than Caleb. So May can also be saved. I do think it's a very much Hollywood happy ending idea. Like, well, we've got the guy who's cured, so now let's let him get the girl. I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with that. I don't think that's the best case. I think there is a sadness that could be achieved through having May maybe have the transfusion start, but she rejects it and it actually kills her. I think that would have sold so much better, but I'm not one for the sweet saccharine Hollywood endings. But I really did enjoy this so much, and the fact that, I said about the vampires before, when all of them meet their end, I'm saddened by it, and that's testament to the acting, to how the character has been portrayed for about 90 minutes. It isn't super long, but I've gotten an understanding and an appreciation, even if I don't necessarily like them in a proper sense. I know them, I'm aware of them, and I can empathise with them. I can feel that, they're suffering, and I can appreciate that that's not pleasant for them, even if they've done awful things. So, yeah, this is one of those that, if you've not seen it, really just give it a watch. I know I said about people bigging things up and putting expectations, but really, give it a watch if you're interested in vampire media, if you can put up with, late 80s production values and things like that. It's still passable, I think, now. And yeah, have some fun with this. So I'm going to end on a little fun thing that I guess you could call it a bookend, because I started with the James Cameron connection, and I'm going to end on it. So the guy in the bar who they're talking to, with the cap on and everything like that, may look familiar to you if you've seen, I don't know, Terminator 2. Because he is the, closed boots motorcycle guy. It's the same guy. You're going to watch it now and you're going to be, oh yeah, it's that guy. See? Another reason to watch Near Dark. And maybe T2 again, because why not? But yeah, Near Dark is not a perfect film, because that's very few and far between, but it is a very interesting take on, a neo-Western vampire film. So thank you very much for letting me talk about it, and until next time, as always, take care.